Good morning. Welcome to Jewelry Industry Voices from Cibjo, the World Jewelry Confederation. It seems strange to be saying good morning. Many of you that watch the webinar series know that usually we're saying good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or welcome because we're live on air. And today, as well as the audience here at Vicenza Oro, we also have many people watching live, being streamed via vicenzaoro.com. So welcome to all of you, wherever you are in the world. My name is Edward Johnson from Gemfields, and I'm helping in a small way to moderate this discussion. I usually lead the discussions from Cibjo's webinar series, but today I'm joined by people who have far more talent to be able to do it this morning. Firstly, thank you very much to IEG, the Italian exhibition group, and Vicenza Oro for inviting us here today for this important discussion. Thank you to Marco Carniello and everybody for your continued support and hospitality here in the beautiful city of Vicenza. Secondly, none of us would be here today if it weren't for the continued leadership and friendship that we receive from Dr. Gaetano Cavalieri. Gaetano, last night, a few of us were gathered to celebrate your birthday. 21 years yet again. But most importantly, to celebrate the years of dedication and leadership that you bring to this industry. I think I join all of my panelists here, everybody in the audience, and everybody watching at home to wish you a very, very happy belated birthday. And we wish you many more to come, and thank you for your leadership for bringing us together. For this discussion, we are sponsored by the Natural Diamond Council, and David Kelly. We offered for him to be here this morning. He declined, saying it was 5:15 in the morning in New York, and that's the time he's usually coming home from clubbing, so he declined the invitation. But we are very much happy to welcome Mina El Hadri from the Natural Diamond Council in France. And we thank very much the NDC for your continued support for Cibjo in this webinar series. So the topic discussion is a new paradigm for marketing diamond jewelry, shifting the focus from men to women. A diamond is forever. We all know that classic marketing slogan. It's served the diamond industry well for decades, hasn't it? It focused on persuading young men to buy a diamond engagement ring for his bride-to-be. The campaign started in the 1940s. We're now in 2022. The world has shifted considerably. Is that still the right way to market diamond jewelry? Focusing on the man buying from the women. Buying for the women, excuse me. I think you'll all agree that that's not the case any longer, and we need to shift that paradigm. But that's what we want to discuss today. We want to see, has it changed from people's perspectives? Have the occasions, the reasons to buy, engagements, anniversaries, birthdays, have these changed? And if we need to change how we market diamond jewelry, how do we best do that? I'm joined by a fantastic group of experts to discuss this with me. Firstly, co-moderating along with me today is the inimitable Elle Hill from Hill & Company, which is it's a business management consultancy with global clients. Thank you, Elle, for joining us here today. Also, we have in the center here Mina El Hadri from the Natural Diamond Council in France, who's joining us. Also, Bérangère Troussard, who is a creator of Like a Bee, which is a French publication and website which concentrates on the promotion and the promotion of watches and jewelry, and she's also a wealth advisor. Thank you, Bérangère, or B, if I can call you that. Welcome. And also we have Caterina Perez, who many of you will know online as a leading influencer who's really pioneered the role of the influencer in the watch and jewelry space. Caterina, thank you so much for your time today. Last but by no means least, Roberto Coyne from the eponymous jewelry brand, Roberto Coyne. Roberto, thank you so much for your time to be here. We know how busy it is out there in the show with many people buying beautiful jewelry, including yours. Thank you for joining. I'm going to hand over to much more talented people to lead this discussion. Elle, over to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And thank you to Gaetano and the Natural Diamond Council for having me and inviting me to participate in guiding this conversation. As Ed referred to, for the past 70 or 80 years, we've all considered the bridal, the engagement jewelry and bridal jewelry as the anchor of the diamond jewelry industry. Economies are cyclical, but good years, good times, and bad, men and women would get married, right? But today, is this still the case? People are getting married later or choosing alternative jewelry. Perhaps the groom is marrying a groom. Do we need a new paradigm? So while there are shining examples of this shift happening already, we don't want to be agnostic to that. I want to ask the panel in our first quick short answer question, do you believe that we need a new paradigm? Bérangère, do you want to start?
Yes. Good morning. First of all, I want to thank you, the NDC and Mina, for inviting me and the Cibjo, and of course Marco Caniello. I think the diamond market has been evolving for 15 years now, and more women are buying jewels for themselves, but now men as well. And diamond jewelry are turned to be a fashion accessory.
Mm-hmm. And Caterina, do you believe we need a new paradigm?
Yes, for sure, because I think the role of jewelry in people's lives is changing. It's becoming an integral part of one's life. It's not just jewelry for special occasion or for special events. Jewelry is becoming a way of self-expression, showcasing your personality, and of course we can all see that women, men, everyone wears more jewelry in more different ways, and not just for the red carpet, but daily. So of course, new ways of marketing jewelry are coming.
Exactly. And Mina?
Of course. The paradigm is not just a question, it's a reality. So we are today facing a really great opportunity of doing business and also opportunity of selling diamonds on a different way. But we are going to go further.
Now, Roberto, do you believe we need a new paradigm?
Well, thank you for listening. Me, always yes. We need all continuously a new way of selling. We think we are good, but I always say we are never good enough. So we have space to improve ourselves. So yes, we've done well, but we can do better. We have to address to the consumer in a better way, and changing is always beautiful in life.
I don't think there's going to be this much unanimous agreement for the balance of the conversation, if I know my panelists well. But let's bring this now to a little more time for Mina, you to speak in answer to this question. From the NDC's research, who is it? What is the main profile of the diamond jewelry consumer today?
There are various profiles, as we are. Each consumer is unique, but we focused on three main categories, of course, men and women. But as we saw yesterday, we have the category of no gender. That means you create and you develop product for men and women. Doesn't mean you can buy a jewelry pieces, for example, with diamonds, and your husband or your partner wear it, and you can also wear it. So it's a new trend, really growing year after year. But the main category remain women, but women with which profile? Completely different than what we used to know. That means today women want to celebrate herself. She wants to celebrate when she achieves something privately or professionally, and she wants to celebrate also herself when she didn't achieve, when she didn't succeed. That means to give her more courage, more bravery. So it just gives us a notification that you have today huge opportunity of selling product on a different way, different niche, which can be very valuable. So the profile of woman is to celebrate herself, first of all, but also she wants to be empowered. So being empowered with his jewelry gives her more and more confidence. And she wants also to be unique. Unique because she expressed herself through jewelry. She wants also to buy not only on a dedicated occasion. She wants to buy jewelry for day-to-day, every day wearing jewelry, not only for bridal or birth event, things like that. So, but we will see later how this new category is going to grow.
So given that change, and given some of the statistics that we looked at, the fastest growing percentages are women purchasing for themselves, how do we need to market to them? How do we need to change the way we market?
It's a huge...
And what is the NDC doing to support that?
It's a huge, huge question. So just to remind you, the Natural Diamond Council is a very amazing organization, which we are dedicated and focused to consumer. What the consumer is, who he is, what he's looking for, and the most important, where is he? Today, where is the consumer? So these three questions are very important and central for us when we create advertising communication, advertising campaign, when we create tools dedicated to retailers, when we create all the communication dedicated to final consumer. And we go directly where the consumer is. If you follow up a little bit what we are doing day to day, you will see that we have amazing success through the final consumer, and we start to move to help the industry shifting on another way of consuming natural diamonds.
Thank you, Mina, thank you. Now, Roberto. It's your turn.
First of all, we are speaking about natural diamonds.
Yes, yes.
That is extremely important. So the diamond industry and the jewelry industry is a huge pyramid where you have the gods on the top and all the other jewelers. So we cannot speak to the same people in the same
We
manner.
can't address everyone all at once, but what's very interesting to me, Roberto, is that you have been marketing diamond jewelry to women or to your audience since 1996. How has your audience changed over those decades?
To be honest, I'm not really a big diamond dealer myself. So I only sparkle diamonds somewhere. So, but I understand the diamond industry extremely well, as I've been one of the founders with Mr. Gaetano of the World Diamond Council, because I believe in doing the right things. I was a member of the Cibjo since day one, RJC Council. So that has helped me tremendously to give security, I do apologize, security to the consumer.
Right.
And been traveling for 30 years all over the world, I spoke to my clients. And I told them about the blood diamonds. I told them about everything, which was negative and positive. And I created a huge trust between them and ourselves. So they have huge opportunity to buy whatever they want to. But I express myself in a different manner. I make beautiful jewelry. And by the way, I put diamonds. You know what I mean? So women always bought diamonds. The husband only had to pay for them. But a husband never buys something which is not being expressed by their wife.
But I think
and women do buy diamond jewelry by themselves. But it's not now, for the last 30 years. How can they elevate the standards of women worldwide so they can buy more? And we are elevating the standards of women today. So diamonds and fashion goes together. They must be fascinated by doing continuously new design,
Exactly.
new concept, and new marketing. But it's all based in credibility. And we have huge diamond dealers which have fantastic credibility, which are the most successful, and they deserve it. Some people just sell diamonds just because they're making money and nothing else.
There were so many key and important points in what you just said. I want to pick out just one of them for the moment because it's like a kid in a candy box. You said something important to me. You listen to your consumer. You talk to your consumer. You understand who she or he is. Over the years, while you have been talking to those consumers, did you have to change the way that you spoke as perhaps the threshold of what women were purchasing for themselves increased?
Well, it depends on the clients which you have in front. You know, there is high level. Sometimes they know more than you do. You'll be surprised. So you have to respect that you are speaking to a knowledgeable client. And if he's not knowledgeable, it's up to you to describe, you know, the diamonds, your design. So they like to buy it, but they always like to have a special occasion why they are buying for. You know what I mean? Not necessarily, engagement is because you get engaged. Marriage when you get married. Mother's Days, everybody does Mother's Day. What about the other days of the year? So you have to be made special events.
Right.
You know what I mean? Which was worthwhile buying this important piece in this special occasion. So I always care about the consumer.
Right.
That they were aware that buying from us, they were totally secure.
Beranger,
Yeah.
who is today's consumer for diamond jewelry?
Well, as a jewelry influencer, I still have a lot of requests from men wanting to buy engagement ring, but they are very lost. They need advices. What diamond to choose, what is a diamond, what is the value of diamond, so you have to do a pedagogy. But more and more also women want to buy diamonds for themselves, like an outfit, you know, to go with handbags and shoes. And I think that Valérie Messica and Caroline Gaspard from Achilles shifted the market 15 years ago because they put diamond jewelry at the same level as handbag and shoes. But the new consumer are definitely the men, because now men are buying diamond.
Yeah.
Not white diamond, but they take the responsibility to wear diamond in public. So if it's in the street,
They assume
they assume
wearing
yes.
diamonds, and this is what.
So they're wearing black diamond, brown diamond, and sometimes white diamond. And I don't know if you know Emmanuel Tarpin, a jewelry designer, French jewelry designer. He designed jewels for men. It's like bracelet in black, but with white diamond, or big chain with a slice of diamond, a different cut than women. So a different way to wear diamonds. But definitely the new market is men.
Yeah, there's a definite evolution.
Yeah.
Katerina, having been an influencer and maybe one of the first and one of the most powerful with the largest reach, you seek to bring the consumer into the industry and closer to the jewelry. What do you think the benefit is to the consumer and to the industry with what you and others who follow in your footsteps do?
That's a very good question. I think I should go back 10 years ago when I just started doing that, because my background is retail. So I was behind the counter, I was managing jewelry boutiques and selling to the clients. And I remember at that time, the only place you can find the jewelry is in the boutique on the pages of magazine. And I felt like I wanted the whole world to know about jewelry, to understand it. And I felt that the more you see jewelry, the more you have desire to wear it, to get to know it, to appreciate it. The role of jewelry has changed, as I said before. It's no longer just a museum piece or collectible piece. It's a part of you every day. So what I wanted to do is to bring jewelry closer to the consumer, to be able to explain them jewelry, to be able to inspire them to wear jewelry and to understand it. And I took this at that time, I'm known for many jewelers through Instagram, and I also founded the website to be able to connect to jewelry lovers from all over the world, and also to make jewelry a little bit, let's call it, more accessible. It's not just a big diamond, beautiful emerald and sapphire shouldn't be hidden in the jewelry box in a safe somewhere. It should be appreciated, and it should be worn and seen, right? Because these are treasures of Mother Nature which we should appreciate. And it was quite a difficult task to be able to take I don't want to call it a product, but to take something very beautiful and turn it into something more accessible, something that people can see on their phone screen or on their computer screen. But I've always believed that this is the way. This is the way to reach out to the world out there through the phone, through online, and not just in a magazine. I wanted to talk to women and men internationally. And I pursued this idea for about 2 years when no one really believed it's going to be successful. First 2 years were very hard because jewelers didn't appreciate or understood why I was doing that. But it was so close to my heart. I'm so passionate about this that I didn't do it to promote jewelry or to become a famous jewelry blogger. I did it because I wanted jewelry to be seen, and it's a part of my mission to popularize the jewelry industry.
Yes.
And now, see, 10 years later, what's happening? The way the marketing structure has changed, the way you advertise jewelry has changed, right? It shifted from just pages of magazines to a new way of advertising jewelry through education. If I go 10 years back, when I was behind the counter, we would educate a client one-to-one when they come to the store, but it wasn't so easy to access information, learn about diamonds, know all the 4 C's, but not just that, understand how to choose an engagement ring or what women like, or how would they style their jewelry, right? And yeah, thanks to social media and online, it really changed. Now people can educate themselves through even Instagram or even TikTok, all the medias out there. And also new way of advertising is through inspiration. People don't come to Instagram to buy. They don't think, I need to buy jewelry and I'm going to go to Instagram. No, they'll go to the website or they'll go to boutique, right? But the way they shop on social media, for example, is by seeing something accidentally often that they like, and they're like, I love it. I want to wear this outfit. I want to wear this piece of jewelry. This is how I'm going to style it. So these 2 ways of marketing, education and inspirations, are very powerful, and they're here to stay. So
absolutely. And instead of waiting to have your client in front of you, you can interact with them, initiate and deepen relationships 24/7, which brings me back to something you said earlier, Roberto, about speaking with your clients, because now we've identified there's a new audience, there's a growing and evolving audience, and there always has been, right? And you have been standing there talking to them. What are the reasons why they buy today? If we've said it's no longer just the birthday, just Christmas, just the wedding, what is the reason why can you characterize why the Roberto Coyne consumer makes that purchase?
Personally, and only personally, I always wanted to surprise my clientele. I remember when the film Chocolat was made, and I say, let's make chocolate pendant with chocolate diamonds. Once a client said, give me a heart, I say, I don't do heart, but let's celebrate with a champagne cork. Or I love caviar, I say, I did the caviar pendant. And when somebody asks me, I say, what about your diamonds? I say, well, either you make a diamond that nobody else has, I'm not interested. That's why we have the 100 diamonds, the 100 facet diamonds. So I always like to surprise. And like everybody, you need to fascinate your clientele. You know what I mean? Why are we doing it? And you know very well the woman loves a beautiful letter and written. You probably get a kiss. If you send flowers, you probably get a kiss. If you buy a car, probably not.
Let's keep it G-rated.
But if you give a diamond, you still get a kiss. So it is sentimental. We are speaking about sentiments, and which a lot of people have. They are hidden sometimes, but they have. So I always like to surprise them that they're having something new to think about.
So new things can be the reason why they buy.
Are always essential. They expect me to bring something new all the time, and I do it.
And you do it.
I enjoy it.
So well.
And creativity is endless, so we have a job for a lifetime.
We do. Bérangère.
Yeah.
What are the reasons, what are the motivations that you think for the evolving and changing consumer of diamond jewelry? What motivates them to buy? What are the occasions? What are the feelings?
I think it's both. It's still a Christmas occasion and birthday, or for example, for 18th birthday of a young woman, she wants diamonds. I have a lot of requests about that from mother who want to buy diamond for their daughter, and
So it's for themselves and the occasion.
and for themselves.
When the spirit
now
moves
they
them.
can afford it, so if they like it, they buy it. And if it fits with their outfit, it's better. No? What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Mina, you had some interesting things you shared with me yesterday. What are the luxury shopping behaviors of the modern consumers that you spoke of earlier?
Yes, we have noticed that customers looking today for authenticity. Sorry, my micro.
Oh, no.
Authenticity, it is a key word. And, the red line is that you need to follow up because, sorry to say this rude word, when it is fake, today the consumer feel it and he's not anymore interested by your brand, what you are going to tell them, to sell them. So authenticity, that means bring true value, added value, positive impact, traceability, all the things that we all know about today. We talk a lot about sustainability, etc. But I prefer to talk about positive impact, how we are going to bring that new consumer to buy with confidence, with authenticity, and to keep, because what I always say is, the best product to express your emotion, your feelings, is a piece of jewelry. Diamond jewelry, furthermore, but it's the first material object that you can touch and have with you to remind you an exceptional moment. I'm not talking just also with get married, engaging, etc. Not every moment in your life that you think it's important for yourself, you materialize it with a jewelry. So that's why authenticity is a very important word.
And Katerina?
Just to make us pretty as well, huh?
Yes, why not?
How many women in this audience just wear jewelry because they feel great when they have a beautiful piece of jewelry?
Yeah.
Well, enough, like half at least, not just for an occasion.
It's true. And now you, for 10 years, you're celebrating your 10-year anniversary of your business.
Yeah.
How have you seen, over the course of that time, the consumer behavior perhaps changed and evolved maybe even more quickly because of influencers and that access?
For sure. I always felt like, as I said just now, the more women see jewelry, the more they see how it's styled. Even, one of the most popular questions from the consumer, how do you wear it? Yes. Okay, I'll buy this beautiful necklace. What do I wear it with? For which occasion? And now, thanks to social media and even our work, influencers, we show how you can style jewelry, how you can wear, what kind of jewelry there is out there. We educate, because pretty much every influencer is deeply knowledgeable, a gemologist or been working in the industry. So it's like a tool to really discover jewelry, and I think it brought a lot of value,
And also, Katerina, if you allowed me, we are on a selfie generation. Everybody is taking selfies. That means you are expressing your social status. And you do it also through jewelry. So it's a way also of expressing your social status. And this new category of consumers is looking for that too. How they are going to express their social position with jewelry, with personalized jewelry. That means, for example, a classic choker, you can mix it with other piece of jewelry and make your own look unique, your individuality. So this is very important, that you can go deeper on that segment of market and try to sell this kind of product.
So now, Roberto, I'm going to ask you about the marketing of diamond jewelry to your client. Are we doing it effectively? Is Roberto Coyne doing it effectively? And how would you suggest we improve it?
Definitely not. Nothing is perfect. So, of course, I can do it much better myself. You know what I mean? So I say the industry can do better. But you say the right words, you know what I mean? Credibility and responsibility of what we are doing is essential. How can we market something if we are not credible and we are not responsible? You know? So, we like it or not, we have to continue to do that better and better and better. You know what I mean? So, the consumer, we can start with the young generation if you want to, which I love them because they're extremely intelligent young generation. They have a lot of emotion which they can't express themselves. But one thing for sure, they are extremely fast and they go to the point. They like to buy from brands which are responsible for their own actions, and they are green. They would like to buy more often than their parents. They probably don't want lifetime jewelry, but they would like to buy more often from brands which they trust at a cheaper price.
Got it.
So that is the young generation, which is our future, you know, hoping that they will buy the most important jewelry in the future. So the young generation, we have to promote them to be more credible to them, and they are very fast. You know, they know how to buy, or sometimes, you know, they ask, you know, their parents. And the most likely, we like it or not, that your young daughter will tell you what to wear very shortly.
Already.
You know what I mean? Already. And to the grandmother, which is the opposite of the system. So we must understand that probably we should start with the young generation.
Absolutely.
Which they are beautiful, and we enjoy
So
working with them.
there's two things I'm picking out of that. Number one, that they have to trust you, and in order for them to trust you, you have to communicate to them where they are spending time, about who you are, so they can decide, do they know, like, and trust you? And the co-marketing that you mentioned was very important. I am very influenced by my 17-year-old daughter, as well as I am influenced by my own perusal of Forbes' How You Spend It. So let me turn to you, Bérangère, and ask you, what do you think about the best ways to communicate to the diamond jewelry consumer today, this new evolving, expanding group?
First of all, I think it's to be digital. And more than that, to be phygital, to have a website and a boutique. But a lot of diamond brands don't right now, so they have to move to this digital way, because when you advertise in a magazine, people are looking at it and they want to check the product on the website, the price, and so on, and go to the boutique or to buy directly online. So. But more than that, I think there is two axes for communication. First, the style. You need to know your consumer. Who are your consumer?
Right.
And to communicate around this, about around the style, fashion, personalization. And yes.
It's very important, because
the
how do you
second-
communicate to them if you don't know who they are and where they are?
Yeah.
Right.
You have to know who are your consumer.
And taking a fresh look at who that might be today, rather than
Yeah.
assuming you already know, really focusing on them.
Yeah, what is today your consumer?
Yes.
And the second axe is education. What is diamond? What are the forces? What is the value of a diamond? Why to buy a diamond? And what is the positive impact of diamond? And in this axe, I think that the industry has a major role to play, because they need to help brands to communicate like NDC is doing.
Just to bound on what Bérangère said about positive impact, this is true. We have questions about that more and more, and we have to be clear to the consumer and to give him easy messages that he can understand and that he can, I just give you an example. If you say, as I notice on different studies, the diamond industry is protecting 5,000, I give just a figure like that, 5,000 square kilometers of land. For me, I have some issue with figures. It doesn't mean nothing. But if you tell me the diamond industry is protected land such as Paris, London, and New York, you make it happen in my mind. And you create an impact on me. You say, oh my God, they preserve so huge area, huge territories.
Right.
So you have to give, of course, the right information to the consumer, but on the way that he can easily understand, easily think about it and say, oh my God, on 2 seconds, he got the info. Okay, I got it.
Now, Katerina, what do you think brands need to do on social media and where people are spending time digitally, as Bérangère so rightly pointed out, in addition to influencers? What do you think brands need to be doing?
I think brands need to also showcase their values, their philosophy, who they are, to actually build the trust that Mr. Coyne was talking about. You have a global reach on your social media, and actually that's a great way to search for clients, because you can see who is there, who is liking your pictures, or you can search your potential client and start a conversation with them. So there are so many tools it offers, and you just have to explore it. But I wanted to add one little thing to what we've just talked about internal structure also of companies. When I worked in retail, I remember one of the biggest pains for us as people who sell jewelry was that marketing departments never really listen to our feedback. So we deal with the final client and we understand what the final client wants, but marketing somehow had different appreciation or understanding what should be done. And I worked for about 5 different jewelry companies throughout many years, and there was always this clash. I haven't been in retail for 10 years. I don't know, Mr. Coyne, if it has changed now. I'll ask you if the salespeople communicate closer now to marketing and if they listen to each other or not anymore. But I think that is something that can really change.
All the things are changing because, I talked a few minutes ago about authenticity. And when your customer comes to he do an effort to come to your shop, to your boutique. He give you his feeling. You have to digest this information and to come back to him with the right answer and the right messages. So now I think so on that marketing and sales team work closer and closer because we need to build the trust and the authenticity.
And it's about going back to the overarching theme that I hear in all the answers is getting closer to who your consumer is and listening to them and making sure that what they say is heard by the marketing department and where they spend their time. I have one last question for you, Mina, before we go through a speed round, which is Mina. What are we doing? How is the industry doing well, or what do they need to do better to spend time where the consumer is?
What is the most important is to inspire your consumer. Anywhere you are a big brand, a small brand, it doesn't matter. You have to inspire a consumer, and to inspire your consumer, you understand where he is, where he is spending time. Yesterday we talked about a lot of the digital action, so we're still on 2.0 for digital, but we notice that a lot of retailers, for example, have not yet their own website. They didn't give a different experience to their consumer, which is, we need to have these new tools because this new generation need to go and to check and to look at and to feel the experience. And also we are close to the 3.0 with other tools. So we need to inspire where the consumer is. And what we notice is the consumer is, of course, on social media. He spends time a lot. Majority of his time, he spends it on TikTok, for example, on YouTube. And unfortunately, we are not yet there with the right message to inspire the consumer. So with a natural diamond concept since 2 years, we start to shift that. And how we notice it? Because we saw that a category of diamond sales have really increased, plus 60% is the self-purchase. Self-purchase categories have deeply increased, and thanks to what we are doing, of course, but also that we give the tools, we give the inspiration to help them to build their own communication and to face the consumer. We need absolutely to be where the consumer is. And today the customer is not only on shop, on retail, and he's a little bit lazy. So we need to push him to come and to visit us on a different way.
So, yes.
Can I just join?
Yeah.
This conversation is fascinating, and of course, what we're talking about there is this need to have education, as you said, the need to be phygital, to really use the omnichannel systems that we have in place, and to talk about the positive impacts.
Yeah.
But all of this, when we're talking about how we connect with the customer through our marketing departments, and you talked about that. One of the things that I asked a friend of mine in preparation for this, and I asked her, what is the most important thing we need to do? And she said, the marketing teams in your businesses need to look at their diversity.
Exactly.
If the marketing team that you have is full of men, they will make decisions that will speak to that demographic. Can I ask you each individual to comment on that? I heard a lot of truism in that as a man.
Okay. Shall I answer that?
Yeah.
Please.
So if you read my website, you will see that in 1996 I wrote that our future is innovation and diversity. Now it's almost fashionable, but what is diversity? So I always believe in that. And diversity is probably what my marketing department is good. In actual fact, I should say excellent because my wife is in charge. I don't want an issue there.
Said the right thing. You're going to kiss tonight. Well done.
But I just told a friend yesterday that there's many ways to do marketing. I went to university. I listened to this young university, their story. They listened to mine. And when I saw, I liked their stories or what they wanted, they are dreaming about, I told them all to write me a letter, and the most fascinating letter I would finance. I would finance their dream. So I had 145 young people, which probably today are more fascinated about jewelry than before. I challenge my clients. I'm good in challenging them. Instead of buying 10 Ferraris, why don't you buy a 30 carat diamonds? You know what I mean? I challenge my clients and say, well, is jewelry an investment? And they say, for sure, yes, because it's much cheaper than divorce. So there's many ways of doing marketing, and everybody does it their own way. But it's got to be based in credibility and credibility, and that's it. Then you can say whatever you want. If we are extremely serious, which is we are trying very hard, and this organization like Cibjo, they go around the world in trying to make the governments work better and better and better. You know what I mean? Are we perfect? We will never be perfect. But we have done things which no government has ever done. So, let's carry on doing a little bit better.
And Mina?
I just talk I will take just a few minutes to talk about what we say about when I talk about positive impact. Of course, I love to talk about behind the scene because we sell dreams, we sell beauty, but what is behind these things? So what the diamond industry is doing since decades is try to bring more and more authenticity and positive impact. Positive impact, you talk about diversity, you talk about things like that. But in our industry, in the diamond industry, the positive impact that we create is how we give back to local community, how we share with where we operate, how we make sure that people with who we are working have sense when we, on the last chain, we sell diamond. Just to give you a few examples, we help the support of 10 million people around the world thanks to the diamond industry, it's a huge responsibility. We can be proud of it, of course, but also, it helps us to remind that in front of beauty that we are selling, we have people, we have human beings, we empower women, so we help local communities. So we need really to make this huge effort that the diamond industry done since decades, to the consumer to make his choice and to definitely buy a diamond jewelry. Because when we discuss about it, when we saw our competitors, if I can talk about that quickly, our competitors is more, like other luxury products. We compete in front of luxury bags, of traveling. As French, I am having really good moment on restaurants, so friends, etc. So we compete with a different way of consuming luxury product. And the diamond is a luxury product, is an authentic product, is an upcycling product, and it gives benefits. So it's a magic product, and we need to give that information, that way of communicating through that inspiration to the final consumer.
I wonder, now that the rise, those statistics are so impressive of the self-purchase, of the woman buying for herself, now that that is who we really must focus on to capture it, has the competition for that share of her wallet increased? Because she also buys handbags, and she buys shoes, and she buys a lot of different options that a man wouldn't necessarily have because he doesn't know her size, he doesn't know her style. Has the competition increased for the share of wallet?
Yes, of course, as usual. But
we should ask us why young women prefer to buy very expensive handbags instead of jewels.
Yeah.
We need to educate. We need to show the value of gold, jewel, diamonds, and this is a major role of the industry, I think.
And you were discussing it with us yesterday about the option of buying a 5,000 pound or dollar or euro plastic handbag with a gorgeous brand name and styling versus a diamond, and the investment quality of that.
I don't know why. I don't understand.
It's all about status. It's all about status.
Because of the social.
We're saying the same thing.
Because of the social status.
Yeah.
But
Anyway,
we have to turn this. We have to turn diamond on social status too.
Status too.
But at the end of the day, nice shoes, make only the feet looks better. Jewelry do make your face, you feel much nicer. Much nicer. Women are beautiful by themselves, but with jewelry, they are slightly better.
Slightly better.
But jewelry, diamond jewelry is still connected to emotion. And in front of emotion, you even if you can bring the best marketing tools, best everything, but in front of emotion, we are human beings. So in front of emotion, you just let yourself express. So that's why it's a very powerful product, because it is the only product who can express emotion. So we have to never forget that. We are selling product of emotion, and it's a very authenticity and emotion.
Indeed. And Katerina, do you find, to Ed's question, that the marketing departments with whom you interact are more diverse, or do we still have a long way to go?
Yeah, for sure. They're not just more diverse, they're more educated, they look for new ways of doing marketing, and they're very modern, they're on social media too. They know how to communicate with people like us who are influencers versus, print media, more traditional way of marketing. So I think there's a big shift.
A big shift happening already.
Yeah.
Well, may I say something? I wrote it for you, I think. So I wrote it last night.
Please.
I think women or people, when they discover the beauty of nature and the beautiful natural diamonds, they will understand the secret of life.
Thank you, Roberto. This is true. When you have natural diamonds, yes, we all know that 3 million years to create a natural diamond. So it's a product that it is the most older product that you can touch. And you imagine it is the most older product that you will never touch. So, which is just incredible. And when so many times I explain that to consumers, because sometimes I love to play, to enter to a shop and do like I'm selling diamonds. But when you say that to a final consumer, you see sparkle on his eyes. So we have a very strong product, yes.
So what I've heard from the panel today is that who is buying jewelry, the consumer behavior has been shifting for a long time now, and there are some shining examples of marketing departments evolving and businesses paying attention to that. But we always must do better, and we have to ensure that we, as leaders in the industry, set the example to listening to the consumer, knowing who they are and where they are, and how to represent yourself authentically to them. Very important word today. So what they are buying jewelry for is changing. You're celebrating success. You're making yourself feel better about a failure. You're also having a birthday or a holiday. And in conclusion, and briefly, I want to ask you all one last question. If you can contain it to one sentence, try. Roberto will give you an extra half a sentence. Okay? What strategy should be used? If you have to give me a short answer, what strategy should be used to market diamond jewelry?
There's no short answer.
No short answer.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But all the big brands know their own clientele.
Right.
And each one of them will take their own strategy. We are fully aware that we can do better. The industry for sure can do much better. And there's no one which will tell you their secret, how they will attack the new market. Me, I'm thinking about it. I'm listening, I'm learning, and I learn fast. And my strategy will be to make, number one, better collections that can attract clients that probably, they forgot how to buy jewelry. So I don't have truly one that I can really say is useful for the whole industry. I can only say there is plenty of future. Let's do it better. You know what I mean? We are listening to you because this is the reason why you are doing this conference. And it is very difficult, but I can assure you, all the important brands knows they can do it better.
Yes. And I love that you also brought it back to the product. Without that, all the marketing in the world will fail you.
Yes.
You must always bring that creativity. Mina, in conclusion and briefly. What strategy should be employed today?
We notice that now we have huge of opportunities, plenty of opportunities. But you still, of course, to have the right product at the right moment, but furthermore, to be where your consumer is. If your consumer, to inspire them, I'm talking about, if your consumer is on social media, you must be on social media, not only on Instagram or Facebook, because today everybody got it, but the new media that you have, TikTok, WeChat, all the media that you think it's relevant and when your customer can be. And there you have to spread your message. So invest a lot on communication, and Natural Diamond Council is here to bring you tools to help you on that. And also try to, try to always be, to move, to adapt yourself to the current situation. We are not on a fixed situation, as you can see.
I think this is the most important message, that it is evolving. Your consumer is always evolving. You must adapt and change. Be responsive, or you are not responsible. Katerina, what do you think the new paradigm must be? What strategy should we use to attract the diamond purchaser?
Some of these things have been said before. I stick to educate, inspire, and innovate as well, because it's very important to try different ways of marketing. Think outside the box, not be scared that jewelry has to be presented in a certain way. I'm a living proof that you can really be playful with it and create different fun campaigns. And when you know who you created for a diverse type of clientele, then you'll be able to really connect with different type of people.
Excellent. And Bérangère?
Be aware of your consumer, adapt your communication to your consumer, and take into account men.
Excellent, bravo. And I think we succeeded in leaving a couple of moments in case there is any questions that you may have from the audience for the panel before we thank them for coming. Would anyone like to ask a question to the panel? Yes, Iris? Oh, do we have a...
Yes, it's just coming.
There we go.
So it's a very inspiring panel. Thank you for that. I love what you say about authenticity. I would like to add a word, integrity.
Yeah.
So my question to the panelists is, so in this world where indeed sustainability rules, how do you keep the magic and yet tell the story about that you're responsible? How do you use marketing for that without going into the greenwashing, blue washing, or SDG washing?
Excellent question. Mina, I think you might want to.
Yeah,
I see you on the
course.
edge of your seat.
Of course, I'll talk about authenticity, but transparency is another key word. Because, as I said in the beginning, when you don't give the right message and when it is not true message, because of course we have lots of greenwashing, oh look at, I'm ecological, I'm sustainable, but how do you bring evidence to your consumer? Okay, I'm ecological, but what is a number that you can show to your consumer that this is true? You are taking care of the planet. You are taking care of local community. Show us evidence, and consumer need to have this information. Other way, he will not buy your product, and he will not buy diamond jewelry product anymore. But be transparent is how you are going to. I saw on the diamond industry, we do a strong study to analyze what we are achieving regarding UN goal for 2030 and what we need to achieve. And each year, now there were COVID, so it was not easier, but each year we upgrade that study to see where we are right now. So for example, if I take an example, in Africa, we recycle because we are only using water to spread the kimberlite and to take the diamonds. And we recycle more than 80% of the water. And this information is very important. Same for energy. Mm-hmm. And a lot of different, I will not go in details because sometimes fingers is not easier to understand. But if I go direct to the point, of course, we have to deliver the right message, but a digestible message. Because when you read, sorry to say that, some sustainable report from huge brand, it's not easier to go through 180 pages, which is, I'm sure, interesting, but the consumer do not go there. So he wants simple message that he can understand and which it is true. We are not here to do greenwash. If you cannot, for example, on the diamond industry, we will never say that we are green and we are doing excellent things. We always have to improve ourselves. We always have to have target that we need to achieve and add new target what we need to again achieve. So our members at Natural Diamond Council, they have done huge effort and they continue. I'm very proud to work for them, honestly speaking, because what I saw is true, is honest. We have to improve lots of things again, but what we already achieved is just amazing and it's just unbelievable. And I invite you in a few months coming to follow up our daily Instagram that we will show you how the things going on and how we are directly interact with people with who we operate.
Mina, thank you so much. And Bérangère, Katerina, Roberto, I appreciate so much your time today. Ed, over to you.
Thank you so much, Elle. And my thanks to all of you for being here today.
Thank you.
Elle, thank you for helping us today.
Pleasure.
You look so much better in Roberto's jewelry than I ever will.
I'm going to keep it.
I'm jealous.
So, as you know, this is part of an ongoing...
I didn't know.
This is part of an ongoing series of seminars and webinars that we hold with Cibjo called Jewelry Industry Voices. If you'd enjoyed this, please come back in about half an hour where we will be talking about the supply chain and issues about how we talk about the authenticity and the trust and how we demonstrate that we're really doing it in this world where there's more compliance and regulations. I've got an amazing panel. I promise you we're going to make it much more interesting than the word compliance implies. So please join us in about half an hour. But thank you very much, everybody. And thank you for joining. And thank you, everybody online.
Thank you.